Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe, please. Hope you're all doing well. We are halfway through the week and almost at the end of June. Can you believe it? What an interesting month it has been. Right, couple of updates, interesting things to get through today. Oh, I know I say this every time, but it never ceases to amaze me that I actually have something to talk about every single day. Like, if you weren't paying attention to the royal family, you wouldn't know. But I'm glad that we're going to have a record of all of this from a different perspective of that of the mainstream UK tabloids. And these will be here, I don't know, for the rest of all time, I guess. I don't ever intend on deleting these videos. Right, let's see who's in the chat. Hey Mina, hey Brenda, hey Jean, Novi, hey. Tamiko, Elaine, Vera. Hi Brenda, hey Pretty Face. It's warm in London, but no sun. Well, at least it's warm. No rain, at least. It's very sunny and very warm here in Tbilisi. Right, let me just grab something quickly, folks, and then we will get started. Okay. Clara, you said you can't believe you made live. Glad you're here. Okay, let's start with some good news. Good news is Suits is finding new audiences. And people have been tweeting about it, saying Suits on Netflix. Why did I wait so late to watch this? Love it. I saw a post on here about the series Suits on Netflix. I started watching it and was hooked from the start. And how amazing. All these years later, it is doing well. Back at number 2. I mean, how many shows literally just shoot straight back up the charts again, having ended their run? That is incredible. So bravo really to Megan, because she's the reason it's become popular again. People are interested to see what was going on with her before she entered into the Unroyal Mafia. So for those in the US, I believe it wasn't on Netflix in the US, now get to watch it, or at least those who just didn't have VPN. So yeah, let me know what you think of it if you haven't, or if this is the first time you're watching it. I actually, my flight is only like 2-3 hours, so I don't know, maybe I can get through 1 or 2 episodes. I'll maybe start watching it on the plane. Also, oh, I don't think I actually have it on I forgot to put it on the slide, but Harry's book, the audio is still in the top 10, still doing really well. And I'm sure we'll get a bump in sales as we go into the summer. People, want to have their holiday reading, and also around Christmas time as well. Someone who's not doing so well, William is on his I'm going to end the homeless, I pledge to end the homelessness epidemic tour. And his groupies have not shown up. No groupies for William. As there were no crowds in Aberdeen and in Sheffield. And you can actually see in Aberdeen, I'm going to play some footage also, that there were actually barricades set up. Shout out to, is it Jade Goodley? Someone Goodley, who did this really funny commentary of this in Aberdeen. So have a listen, because it's just absolutely hilarious.
Aye, Harry's alright. Aye, the Waynes are doing great. They're in America and that. Aye. In
You alright, Lily?
Oh, hiya. That's Tam and Jeanette, pals of mine. Aye, they've not been to Disneyland. I don't think they've been there. No, my dad had a cracking birthday, thanks for asking. Aye, lovely. Had a whole side of salmon. You'll never guess. Big eyes I brought to the buffet, our homemade coleslaw. This is lovely. Thanks for inviting me. Gorgeous. I love Scotland. I'd have wore a kilt, but I just don't have the legs for it. Oh, this is nice.
Yeah. And the 2 or 3 people that did show up, he barely acknowledged them. So I think this is a reflection of the fact that people can see straight through this. And like I said in yesterday's podcast, of course, people want to see an end to homelessness. Of course, people want this problem to be solved. But when you just spent £250 million on a coronation, when you live in 4 castles, when you chase the only 2 family members who have ever created impact in this institution away, I'm sorry, but we're gonna call you out. This is nothing more than a PR stunt that will go nowhere. And to be honest, I think that this is going to come back to haunt William in another 5 years, because he said it's going to take 5 years for him to end homelessness. This is going to come back to bite him. So this was in the National, which is a Scottish paper. They said, did they not tell anyone he was coming? That would be one explanation for the complete absence of any Union flag-waving crowds of royalists during Prince William's visit to Aberdeen on Tuesday. Mind you, there were independence protests going on even during Charles' coronation and during the Queen's Jubilee. The number of journalists was far bigger than the number of people excited to see the noble Duke of Rothesay do some of the royals' trademark walking and nodding and at stuff. In fact, two of those leaning on the fence, apparently put there to keep the baying mob away from His Highness, seemed to be there by accident more than anything else. Isn't Aberdeen meant to be one of the more pro-royal areas of Scotland? William had been visiting as part of a tour he's put together as part of his bid to end homelessness. The Tillydrone Community Campus, where he was visiting, has been chosen to benefit from the Homewards project, graciously launched by the Royal Foundation of the Prince and Princess of Wales, responding to a clip of the missing crowds of adoring royalists. Bella Caledonia wrote, "Mass disinterest in Tillydrone as feudal relic masks their uselessness with performative social justice stunt. I have no problem with the Prince of Wales taking homelessness as its cause, but either the PR department at the palace didn't get the info out or the crowd barriers were a tinsy bit optimistic." Another quote, "Apathy reigns. Unfortunately not, is still the Windsors." Yes. And this is what I think is going to happen ultimately. I don't think there's going to be a huge wave of republicanism throughout the UK that overthrows the monarchy. The British aren't the French. That's not going to happen. I think it's just going to be that people just get bored and they can't be bothered anymore. However, this is a when you consider the fact that we just had the coronation, and you would think that the excitement of royalists in particular would still be at an all-time high. This is interesting to see. And William is the next king. So there should be anticipation and excitement to see him from those who are royalists and who believe in a monarchy, but they don't seem to be showing up and showing out for William. He's got some work to do, but at this point, I don't know what he can do to up his popularity, because having the whole UK press write about you and trash your brother is just not working. And I guess William needed to let off some steam. So here he is, king of the dance floor, the true party prince. Spotted showing his best moves at Coco nightclub in Camden with party pal Guy Pelly, just hours after attending Royal Ascot with Kate. Footage shows the Prince of Wales 41, dressed in a light blue shirt, holding a beer and dancing from side to side. Dancing with a small d. Appearing in a private box alongside two friends, including Prince Louis's godfather and club owner Guy Pelly. The heir to the throne seemed relaxed while enjoying his Friday night. And is there anything wrong with a spouse going and spending some private time alone with his friends? No, there isn't. However, we know, as Henry VIII pointed out, if this was Harry, he would have been crucified. If this was Harry, it would have been Harry and Meghan are divorcing. If this was Harry, the way that they would have painted a picture. And this is an institution that wants to go on about protocol and keeping up appearances. This to me says that William is truly done. He is no longer keeping up appearances. And I do still believe that something is coming. Because he's no longer playing the royal game. He's no longer playing to the cameras. You see it with the way he interacts with Kate. So, after a hard day of trying to end homelessness, there he was dancing around at the club. No, I don't have the footage, by the way. Maybe Baron will, or I'll post it later on. Right, let's get to your comments. Legs, you said, thank you for the super sticker. You said, maybe he could pay the homeless to show. Yes, that would end homelessness. Give them the job of royal watchers. Oh dear. Thank you so much, Debbie. Thank you for joining us. Cheryl, you said, other than the guards and journalists, I counted 10 people, including the baby in the stroller. Oh dear. And they've put so much effort, all of their energy into, going after Harry and Meghan, that they weren't tending to their own grass. And this is what it looks like when you are busy buying bots and trolls and no one actually likes you in real life. This is what it looks like. They're busy spending their money and time here. Oh dear. Right, let's go for your comments before we go into the next thing. This is going to be a pretty short podcast today. Was Rose in the back? No, Rose is at home polishing her crown, dreaming up what she's gonna wear for the next coronation when she is crowned queen. Lottie, if I were Kate, I'd leave William. William is disrespectful. Oh, if you were Kate, I don't think Kate's gonna do that. Legs. Wait, I thought Meghan was partying at night. Yeah, I thought Meghan was partying at night and Harry's staying at a hotel. I mean, there was that stupid rumor about Harry has another home, or he's sleeps at a hotel. These people are so desperate to deflect from the truth. And we know exactly what the truth is. Thank you once again, Legs. Yes, Alma, there's a definition of irrelevant. Do we have a troll in the chat? Let's see. Thank you so much, mods. Okay, William's friend. Do I still have that slide? Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Okay, I think I might have to go through that tomorrow. I'll go through that. Oh no, I have it here. Yeah, so William's friend, Evgeni Lebedev, him and his father have been in the spotlight because of controversy around giving them peerages. I believe his dad was a former KGB agent, a former Russian agent, and he actually owns a stake, I think, in the Independent news outlet. And then now it's coming out. I haven't actually watched the documentary, by the way, and I won't. I can't bother to. But in the documentary, they revealed many things, including that aides asked the Queen, when she was still alive, to actually block his peerage. And it is quite worrying that someone like this is so close to the royals and government. So let me just pull up this article so we can read it. And yet this actually just reminded me that William was working with Centrepoint, which is another homeless charity. So why isn't William just continuing his work with Centrepoint instead of launching this whole new initiative? It's like they're just pulling things out of a hat and hoping that something works. Okay, let's have a look at this. Yes. The British government asked whether Queen Elizabeth would block the peerage of Russian-British businessman Evgeni Lebedev. I know that I'm butchering his name. That guy, William's friend. Due to security concerns, according to a documentary, officials decided to intervene in 2020 after Boris Johnson's prime minister at the time decided to press ahead with the appointment. This was despite warnings Mr. Johnson received from security services about links Mr. Lebedev's father, Alexandra, a former KGB officer, had to Vladimir Putin's regime in Russia. Buckingham Palace declined to block his appointment to the House of Lords, the UK's upper chamber. It feared the monarch would be dragged into politics despite being constitutionally entitled to intervene. So to all the people who claim if we didn't have a monarchy, we'd have dictatorship and everything would go to dust, like it isn't already going to dust. What do you have to say to this? Because your whole argument is the fact that we have a constitutional monarchy is so that stuff like this doesn't happen. But then we then have situations like this happen, and then we're told it's feared the monarch would be dragged into politics, despite being constitutionally entitled to intervene. So what is the point of the monarchy? It was reported by The Guardian that Lebedev, the owner of the Evening Standard and investor in the Independent, right? That was what I was getting onto earlier, was elevated to the House of Lords as Baron Lebedev of Hampton and Siberia that December. The UK intelligence community briefed the House of Lords Appointments Commission to say that Lebedev was considered a possible security risk, not by himself, but because Alexander is a billionaire oligarch, according to a Channel 4 documentary, Boris, the Lords, and the Russian spy dispatches. It claims 2 intelligence officers briefed Mr. Johnson in person to discuss the matter in the spring of 2020, and officials then contacted Buckingham Palace to share their concerns. Yeah, there you go. William's friends. And again, can you imagine if this was Harry doing this? Or could you imagine if Meghan had been photographed with this guy before she came into the royal fold? What the story would be then? But this all seems to be just going under the radar. Lebanon, thank you so much for super chat. You said, is it just me or does Willie Boy seem to be dressing more casual these days? No suit and tie anymore. He's living his best life, Alan. He's living his best life now, being his true self. Yeah, exactly, Marina. Nothing wrong with having fun, but the silence when he does it, compared to if Harry was to do it. Joan Hickey, was Willie going to go to B&Q to buy a few tents? 3 million is a joke, unrealistic. Exactly. I mean, 3 million, you could probably build a tent city. Build actual homes that people are going to live in? No. Unless he's planning on building houses out of bamboo. Okay, let's see what else you're saying. Yeah, the royals always seem to have shady friends. They can never just have nice millionaire friends who do good things. No, no, no. And you know what it is? It's the shady people who are desperate to be in the club. That's who wants to be friends with them. That's who wants to be friends with them. People who are desperate for status. Being in proximity to people who have status. Okay. Last thing I wanted to mention. Omid tweeted about his book, Endgame, Inside the Royal Family and the Monarchy's Fight for Survival. So it's available for pre-order now. It's coming in November of this year. Are you going to read it? I know that there were very mixed feelings about Finding Freedom, but I think that we are in a different place now. You know, we now know that, you know, Omid also was being fed a lot of lies by Jason Knopf. And I am still very suspicious of that Carolyn Durant, who he wrote Finding Freedom with. So I feel like this is Omid independent now, not bound to any kind of palace rules, no palace mediators. So I actually think that this is going to be a very interesting book. And I think that I will be reading this. So he tweeted, I have book news. Endgame, a penetrating investigation into the future of the royal family, will be released globally on November 21st, 2023. Can't wait for you all to read this. More details and pre-order links at readendgame.com. And with that, that'll be all from me today. Keep it short and sweet. Thank you always, everyone, for coming, for your support, for your donations. Very much appreciate it. Yeah, I have a pretty jam-packed week this week. I'm Tomorrow, I think I'll spend most of tomorrow packing. Friday, I have one more tour, and this is like probably the biggest tour I've done since I've been here. Just a bit of sightseeing. And then Saturday and Sunday, those are like my last 2 days, and then I'm leaving to Tbilisi. Can't believe it's been 3 months. Um, Maureen, need another place to launder money. Yeah, I guess so. That's why he's launching something else. With sisters, you said William with homelessness is like Kate with the early years. It's just something to do to justify their existence as royals. Yes. And it's starting to wear thin on the public. Julia Rocky said, close up the monarchy, let the people live in the palaces, pay the money for a change, give back the stolen jewels, and donate the costumes to the theatre. Oh dear. We still haven't had any updates on the Ukrainian refugees that were meant to be given refuge in the palaces. Whatever happened to that? Still waiting for the update. And he's claiming that he's going to build homes on the Duchy estate. Was Charles consulted about this? Does Charles know about this? Cindy, William is having a midlife crisis. He wouldn't be having to have any if he had been more loyal to his brother. Trinette, you said the royals have never been checked for their shady dealings, so they believe there is nothing wrong with having shady friends. Yeah. I mean, the people that are meant to be the creme de la creme of society, right? I don't know who's still falling for this fantasy. Mina, you're going to buy the book. Yeah, I think I'm going to buy it as well. Tamiko, his books now is not about Harry and Meghan, it's about survival of the royals, right? Well, obviously, Harry and Meghan will, I think they will be part of the book, obviously, because the fact that they have left is a big part of why the royals are walking such a tightrope. Caroline, hope it's a good book, but nothing about Harry and Meghan. No, I'm sure we'll talk about Harry and Meghan. I mean, they're on the cover right there. They're right on the cover. And you can't talk about the perception of the royal family right now without talking about Harry and Meghan, especially the way Meghan has been treated. I don't think he's going to say anything negative about Harry and Meghan, but he will definitely talk about Harry and Meghan. I mean, they're on the cover. Owen has some big balls to do this. Absolutely. He has big balls to write this book, and also the fact that he went to court. VC, will there be an audio version of the book? I should assume so. Kelly, you said, I hope the Royal Institution don't attack Omid. I will buy the book. Yeah. If they do attack him, you know that it will be through the press. Cheryl, you'll be buying Omid's book. Good. Right. That's all from me. I will see you tomorrow, folks. Have fun at Barron's and enjoy the rest of your day. Ciao.